What's good, y'all? You Dub back here again in it's Spawn Day. Hope you're having a blessed night, morning, afternoon, whenever you watch this video, late at night, because I know some of y'all may work graveyard shifts. I've done that. Woo! Here in the tail end, in the end game of 2019. This video, I don't rant on my channel. I don't rant, period. But I do sometimes go off, or I do roast, right? Sometimes this video comes out of frustration I've had with me basketball fans, right? We're not even just talking about the casual. I'm talking about from basketball fans, some who've played, know the game, have been watching, and it irritates me the kind of stuff I have to defend because you got too many people out here that have biases, have prejudices, have personal desires. Oh, I want the game to look like this, or the game should look like this. The game, I like you to get. Screw what you want. Basketball is basketball, just like football is football. I might do a video on that as well. Baseball is baseball. Hockey is hockey. Rugby is rugby. Boxing is boxing. MMA is MMA. Whatever the case may be, business is business. All right? Say all that to say this. Let's start off criteria. What is the objective of b-ball, right? A lot of people get lost in the sauce. They let stuff imprint on their brains, on their mind, and don't appreciate greatness for what it is and what is effective. What is the objective of basketball? It's to put the ball in the hole. It's to score the goal, right? Put it in the hoop. And also to stop your opponent from doing such. In case you need the simplest version, play one-on-one. How do you win? Game to 11, game to 7, game to 15, game to 21. You score and you get stops. Now, you can say that for all sports, but for basketball specifically, that literally is the thing. Other sports, you have other factors. Football, soccer, you can tie. In football, American football, as some say, there are no, well, you can tie if it's a regular season game. Basketball, there are no ties. You play till you win. And we play, there has been a record, I believe, still it's high school basketball, 6 OTs. Forget it, or it was college. It was high school or college. You play till you drop, till a team has more points on the scoreboard than the other team. It could go for 200-300 points. We don't care. You could play for fucking 4 hours. We don't care. Whoever wins, wins. There ain't no do-overs. There ain't no tie. Oh, we played too long. No, you win. There's other sports that have that as well. But, tennis is another one. Why do I bring that up? Because you have people like, I don't like the way that James Harden plays. Bro, he scores and he gets wins. That means he's successful. I don't like the way that LeBron James. LeBron brings teams to finals. That means he's successful. Kawhi, I like Kawhi. He plays on both ends of the floor. Then that means he's being successful in his role. Excuse the lighting issues. It's bright today, apparently. The objective is the Greek Freak. He's my favorite. Cool. I like Russell Westbrook because of his effort. Cool. The thing is, does it lead to W's? If it's bad habits, they don't lead to W's. Pure and simple. I don't like how a guy can jack up a lot of shots. Sometimes you have to jack up a lot of shots. Kobe, MJ, like people like, I don't like how James Harden. Bro, the Rockets are winning. He has to. Where's the offense gonna come from? Give it to other people. I'm gonna talk more about the Rockets. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. When Kobe dropped at 81, they needed all of them 81. Time he dropped 60 points. They took him out in the third quarter because they didn't need it. MJ dropped to 63 and a loss. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you need 20 30 rebounds from an individual. Sometimes someone can drop a 20 assist game. It just depends. The objective is to score and to stop your opponent from scoring. Now it's nuanced. I often say basketball is the simplest, most complex game slash sport on the planet. I mean, we can debate otherwise. It's so simple. Really, it's so simple. But there's such a myriad of ways. Baseball, when it comes to offense and defense, doesn't have nearly as much. Football, not nearly as much. Tennis, not nearly. No other sport has so many different ways to score. You have the era of the big man where you just dump it to the center and he's an insta bucket. Or someone like Kevin McHale, Tim Duncan, who are just Mr. Automatics. You can count on them to get buckets. Then you have crazy guard play, which is slashing. You have utility guys. You have off guards. You have all the three ball. There's so many aspects of the game, the mid range game. And if you think you can just win one certain way, it's like Isaiah Thomas talked about. There are 5 areas of scoring. There's down low. There's the mid-range game. There's from the deep behind the 3 ball, downtown. There's from the free throw line. And shoot, I'm probably missing one. But regardless, there are a lot of ways to score. So you have to be efficient. All the great teams could do practically all areas. They could hurt you in every area. And if you shut them down in one way, they found another way. And there's adaptability in the game. You got to be able to adapt, you know? Sometimes you just go in with a game plan, and if that game plan works, you just dominate. Sometimes that team is just more talented. And what does that mean? That means that team either has players who are just damn good at what they do, they're specialists, or they have players who can do practically everything, right? And so when I hear people talking about, oh, I want to go back to the physicality and players wouldn't just fight. Oh, you kidding me? You kidding me? You trying to tell me a player like, let's say, LeBron James and Draymond Green? You trying to tell me that? And I'm not saying Draymond is just legendary status player, but you're trying to tell me Draymond wouldn't thrive in that era? Come on now, dog. LeBron, freight train LeBron. Come on, bruh. Are you serious? Greek freak? Giannis. Joel Embiid would not thrive in that. Come on, bro. Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Buckets? Come on, dog. Like, stop it. And besides, I hear the disrespect to some people want to be disrespectful to the legends. Legends can play in any era. Larry Bird is eating in any era. Kareem, the Dream, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, the Admiral, David Robinson, freaking Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Mr. Clutch, Jerry West. The list goes on and on. Pistol Pete Maravich, Irvin Magic Johnson. Of course, his heir is Michael Jordan. You give me a list of legends, they're going to eat in any era. People say, I don't see how they play. Bro, if you have the same training, fitness, and the ability to evolve in the game, yeah. Yeah. A lot of these guys were pioneers. They were before their times. They were before their time. And you put them into an era where they can thrive. You tell me Magic Johnson ain't eating in this era? Come on, bro. We see LeBron eating. You trying to tell me now LeBron's more athletic, yes, but you trying to tell me we see this man Magic Johnson could get 40 if he wanted to. This man could drop 15 assists. He could get the rebounds. He could drop the triple doubles. Big old Oscar Robertson was the first to drop a triple double back in the day for a season. Come on, fam. Like, stop it. Stop it. Basketball is basketball, man. The game is the game. There are so many ways to win. And as soon as people say, well, this is the way, and the game's steadily evolving, it is. But look at the Raptors. The Raptors took a bit of old school and won. And yes, the Warriors were hurt, but still, when you rely, if you're too top heavy, for example, LeBron said top heavy shit. Though I kept warning people about the Warriors all year. I'm like, bro, there are reasons dynasties are rare. There's a reason why you rarely three-peat. There's only been, if I recall, 3 or 4 teams. I know the Celtics did it back in the 60s. The Lakers did it under the Dynasty Lakers. Jordan's team did it, three-peated twice. And I forget if the Lakers did it back in the day in the 50s. There's only been 3 or 4 teams that have three-peated. LeBron's Heat teams weren't able to. The Golden State Warriors weren't able to. The Dreams Rockets weren't able to. Showtime Lakers never won back to back. Same thing with Bird Celtics. It is very difficult because other teams have your kryptonite or they find ways to win. It's a 7-game series. This ain't like NCAA tournament where you can luck up and defeat a Kentucky or luck up and defeat a Duke. You have them that day. You have their number. You have 7 games. They figure you out. People are like, oh, James Harden, it doesn't work. I don't understand. Bro, they're able to key in for 7 games. Don't blame James Harden because the team is deficient. Bro, you blame James Harden for a team missing 27 straight threes? How you blame James Harden for that? Yeah, was he a part of it? Sure. But you can't put it all on that man. Gotta be out your damn mind. Right? Just like you can't say, ooh, KD did it alone when he won finals MVP. He had a squad backing him, and LeBron had a lesser squad. Like, that's just how it works, fam. It's a team game. One man can never beat a team. That's why you've had 3 men, or 2 men. 2 men take 3 teams to the finals. Solo dolo. And I don't want to hear, well, they were nice on defense. Bro, when we say solo, obviously people had to get rebounds, assists, points. Other people had to put in work. We're not being disrespectful. First man to do it was Allen Iverson. He had an aged Dikembe Mutombo. He had Eric Snow, which was great on defense. He had Eric. Oh my goodness, I used to know all them cats. I mean, the team was nice, but they were no championship caliber team, and they went against. Now they were the team that did because AI willed it. The answer willed. They were the team to get that 1 W, and put that 1 L on the Dynasty Lakers that year in 01, right? But bro, everybody knows that team shouldn't have been in the finals. That team shouldn't have been in the finals. But one man willed it. LeBron did it in 07. That team didn't belong against those Spurs. Come on, they got swept for a reason. And then you see it once again in 2018. That team didn't belong there with LeBron and Cat. To me, that just also shows LeBron's greatness. Because plenty of other guys have had mediocre teams and they couldn't drag them to a finals. What I'm saying, inconsistent. My dude Kevin Love, but he was inconsistent that playoff and that year. After that injury, he was balling into All-Star level and then he got hurt. Feel me? So team construction matters. Team chemistry matters. How pieces fit. Play people like, oh, the big 3. Everybody needs the ball, bro. Bro, you can make plays and schemes to get people buckets and numbers. It's not hard. You need a prerequisite talent. Feel me? But you talking about fit. Well, here's the thing. Do they play the same position? If they don't play the same position, then you're fine. I knew LeBron and AD would be effective. Why? Because they don't play the same position. The big 3 Celtics, none of them played the same position. KG was a power forward. Sometimes played the 5, but he was mainly a 4. You had Ray Allen, who's a shooting guard, and Paul Pierce. The truth was a freaking small forward. None of them played the same position. You can start them all. The same thing happened with the big 3 when it comes to Heat. You had, and if you want to say big 4, you had Rondo, who's a point guard too. So there was that. Chris Bosh, power forward. You had Dwayne Wade, shooting guard. LeBron, small forward. Same thing as the big 3 Celtics. Come on now, it's not hard. It's not difficult. You had, if you want to say back to say it was a big 3 with the Bulls with Rodman, MJ, and Scottie Pippen. Well, Dennis Rodman was a power forward. MJ was a shooting guard, and once again, Scottie Pippen was a small forward. It just seems to happen now. A lot of these great big 3s were forward, and guard. Don't ask me why. That's just, look at Golden State. Clay, shooting guard. Steph, point guard. Draymond, point forward, power forward. KD, shooting guard. Small forward. None of them play the same position. And KD, small forward, but also can play as a center. So they were kind of interchangeable except for Steph. So there's that. That helps a lot when you can have players play multiple positions. Showtime Lakers, Kareem, center. Magic Johnson, he was a point guard, but point forward, kind of ish. Let's see. Big game James Worthy, small forward. See what I'm saying? Michael Cooper could play, shooting guard. They had players who could play multiple positions. Celtics back in the day. Larry Bird, small forward. Robert Parrish, center. Kevin McHale, power forward. None of them played the same position. that relies on spacing on the floor. You can run different sets. You see what I'm saying? What happens when teams fail? Well, they're usually too guard heavy, got too many big men, got too much redundancy. In business, you want kind of like big business, you want repetitive, be able to fill in cogs. Now, you do need people to be able to back up and come in and as a shot troop, but you need people to be able to play different positions. Look at the Clippers right now. The reason why people think the Clippers are so dangerous. Now you can say, well, Kawhi and Paul George both play small forward. Thing is, either one of them can play. Well, Paul George, he can play shooting guard if necessary. Kawhi, same thing. Kawhi could probably even play power forward if necessary. They're a little bit different though, but not as great of a fit as LeBron and AD. But they can still play multiple positions. But on defense, that's where they shine. But then, of course, you also have a Lou Williams off the bench and Montrezl. Like they have pieces that complement each other. When it comes to Kawhi and Paul George can play off the ball, so it really doesn't matter so much there. And you just go on and on with the list. I don't want this video to run too long. I'm just saying, like, bro, when you talking basketball, think holistically, think comprehensively, think historically. You want to say a team can't work? Well, what worked in the past? Oh, we're in an era. Well, you need everybody to be able to shoot threes, bro. What worked in the past? For majority of basketball, even the time we had the 3-point line, only very recently have you had, and it was a special team, have you in special teams where you could have the 3-point be as effective. You still got to get buckets in that lane in the post, especially during the playoffs when it becomes the game slowed down and you got to bang in there, and the calls don't come as easily. So there is that. I expect to want to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this, man. Like we can talk basketball all day, right? We can do that. If you want me to talk more breakdown on different sports and stuff, by all means. And I'm into most sports. I love sports, and I plan to do a lot more of that. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.